Our mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. Technology can shape growth, help us be more agile, we can use technology to change, disrupt the landscape of the industries that we participate in. Building technology so that others can build technology and make things happen. Our success is not dependent on our products. It's dependent on the success that our customers, our partners have with our products. It's really not about our ambitions, but it's the application of our ambitions so that we can deliver digital transformation. I want you to envision what difference can you make to shape the world.
Welcome, partners. Good afternoon, good morning. Good morning. Well, welcome to the second to last show of the year. And what we wanted to do today is talk about a subject that we haven't had a lot of focus on recently, and that's the sales and marketing and promoting your brand via LinkedIn. So with that being said, we have a great show lined up for you. We've got some great guests in here. We got first Jackie Diebold from Robert Half International, right?
Yes.
And we also have Mark Geiger in studio from Randstad.
Hello.
All right, and as always, we have the great, infamous Eric Klaus, sales and marketing superstar, which is awesome. So thanks, Eric, for being here again. So with that being said, LinkedIn really is the theme of the show today. So we have great guests that are going to be talking about it and talk about what they do. We're going to give them a little, kind of what they do, what they bring to the table. But these are titans, really, I think, of, the networking world, the titans of sales and marketing, and we're going to get two perspectives here today. One, you have the three of us. We're going to call ourselves the Beasts today. The three of us, we are the Generation X, right? And we have a very interesting, I think, outlook on social media and building brands. And then we have our millennial, the Beauty and the Beast. That's kind of what we're doing here. That's our millennial. She's singular. We only found one. We were actually looking far and wide, and we did find a millennial. And she is here to tell us, to help us understand how millennials think. I know it's something that is, unknown to the great Generation X, right? All right. So before we get into it, let's go ahead and just, Jackie, do us a favor. Can you just introduce yourself, and talk a little bit about what you do for Robert Half?
Yeah, exactly. So hi, my name's Jackie. I'm an account executive at Robert Half, so I'm more on the business development side, specifically on the technology side as well. So that's why I'm here, Microsoft partners as well. With that, I go to clients, I ask them kind of what they want, what they need for their technology teams, more contract and project work, and then from there, we find their perfect person and hand them out and let them out to them, and that's kind of what I do, business development.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And then now we have the other titan in the room, Mark Geiger. Mark, you're a sponsor, the main sponsor, the platinum sponsor for IMCP almost every single year, the golf tournament.
The golf tournament.
Yeah, and I've known you for about 5 or 6 years, through IMCP. So, how can you help, the partners who are here understand who you are and kind of what Randstad does?
Sure. So I'm Mark Geiger, Senior Account Executive with Randstad Technologies. So we're a global provider of IT workforce solutions, and that can mean just about anything in terms of connecting top-tier IT talent with our clients. So whether a company is looking for short-term or long-term contract employees, full-time or direct hire permanent employees, or looking to outsource a fully managed engagement, we've got the resources to connect the top talent to the clients that we support.
Fantastic. Now for both of you, before I get into that, so keep that question there. Eric, go ahead and really quickly. We all know who the great, infamous Eric Klaus is. However,
Thanks, Sherman.
just in case you guys don't know, if you have sales and marketing needs, this is the guy to talk to. He can not only help you, but he also has deep connections throughout Microsoft, throughout the different things. Eric?
Awesome. Thank you again. As always, everybody, I know you've seen me out here for about the last 6 months now. We've been doing this show, so appreciate always the opportunity to talk with everybody. Yes, as Sherman mentioned, if you have questions around sales and marketing, I have a 30-question sales and marketing process audit that I do for folks. Be happy to have a conversation with you around that and see how we can work together to help you grow your business. Fantastic.
So we are light on slides today, meaning that we actually have none. Because we've heard that the peeps out there, like death by PowerPoint, we're not going to be doing that anymore. We're going to be talking today about really great stuff. So the thought of the week. Thought of the week really comes around building your brand, but also around networking. Recently, I was reached out to by several people locally to be connected on LinkedIn, right? And one of the very first messages I got after I said, okay, no problem, I'm a LinkedIn open networker, and we're going to talk about this today, a lion, okay? So I accept anybody's invitation. So as soon as I accepted it, there was two different ones. One was an accountant, and one was a local realtor here down in Orange County. Both of them, as soon as I said yes, the first thing that they did is they sent me, thanks so much for responding. I've created a quick video for you. Go ahead and click on this and let me know what you think. And I thought to myself, well, this is kind of cool, right? But then I noticed that the accountant and the OC realtor had the same background, same studio. And I was like, son of a gun. Then I read their messages, and they're both exactly the same. I was like, ha ha ha! There's a company over here that's doing this. However, what bothered me, and I actually had an exchange with the realtor a little bit, was the fact that the whole video wasn't for me. It was just a generic video that they created that basically said, "Hi, my name is so and so, and I am an Orange County Orange County realtor. I help people buy and sell houses. I work for X company, and let me tell you all about their company." And it goes like, the company was 2/3 of the actual video. And I was thinking there, I was like, wow, luckily I get paid to just learn about social marketing and media and social selling and all these things, right? So I looked at that and I thought to myself, well, there's two major issues here. One that's gotten me kind of irritated is you said that you created a video for me. Right? So if you use Bomb, that's a personal creation kind of thing, but you didn't. You basically just slammed something together, put it. And number two, your brand, it sucks. Why? Because you know what you do? You only talk about yourself for like literally, the first 15 seconds, and then all you're doing is advertising for your company. But then I thought, gosh, why would you do that? You really, the media that you're putting out there is supposed to be about building your brand, right? So the exchange I had, and this is the kind of goes in the thought of the week, is I sent over and I said, hey, remove me from your list. And I basically put in there, I'm more interested in working with people that can help me out first. And I said, most people do networking with their hand out. And I can't tell you, and I put this in there, I was like, I can't tell you how many people I have gone to and met first that forget my name within like 8 seconds, right? Like forget it, in 8 seconds. And all they're thinking about is, hi, my name is ABC, John with ABC Company. You know what you could do to help me out is send me leads to do X, Y, and Z. Why am I not getting any leads? Like that kind of a thing, right? And I was just, and that's the problem with the way people are networking today. I think it's the way that people are prospecting today. They are either all about the brand of their company. They're all about selling something. Okay, buy this for 20% off, because they're conditioned to the guy who is on camera, who is on a video. Let's say 10 years ago. Buy my beds, $9.99, right? So we're kind of conditioned, I think, to a degree. At least Generation X is. Okay, maybe not the millennial here. Okay, because she hasn't seen many of those, right? But we'll ask her in just a moment, okay? But the thought of the week really comes down to networking and how are you going to approach it. So the way I've always approached it is I go into any type of networking situation thinking, what can I bring to the table that's going to benefit the person I'm talking to, first of all? Because if I can do that, if I can give first, then I bet you they're going to psychologically be thinking to themselves when they have an opportunity that's within my industry, man, Sherman was pretty awesome. He helped me do X. And I got this deal. I feel good about giving him a referral, right? Or giving him some business or helping him out, asking his advice, right? It's so simple, right? It's so simple. However, we all forget a lot of times. And by the way, I'm not an expert in this. I spent many networking events doing the same exact thing. So, thought of the week, when you network, provide something to somebody first, and then, put yourself out there to be able to receive, gratitude or something back. I'll leave you with this. Dreamers are the ones that talk about what they're going to do, and leaders are the ones that do what they talk about. All right. Let's go ahead and transition. We're doing our first LinkedIn video here. We're going to talk about how to build an awesome profile.
Hi, this is Sherman Crancer, Senior Partner Development Manager, and this is the demo of LinkedIn. So on the first part of our series, what we're going to be doing is just looking at and understanding the actual web page. So www.linkedin.com up here on the left-hand side, and then make sure that you sign in. So when you take a look at this, you're going to find on the left-hand side your own profile, okay, who's viewed your profile in the last few days, views of your recent posts that you've done. And some communities, but you have your business feed here. So this is all of the friends that you possibly have posting different things. What you're going to find is a lot more videos that are happening. We talk about this all the time on our program about creating videos and brands. So here you have your home, you have your My Network, which is basically going to talk about your connections, 3,279, right? Some of your contacts aren't connected. So what this does, when you click on this button, it'll actually access all of your contacts and send pending informations to everybody that you have in your contact management system, as well as if you're active synced with your Outlook, it'll take a look at your Outlook inbox and do that. So as you can see here, there's no pending invitations. Great. There's another section here, jobs. I love my job, so I never reach this little area here. You have messaging. And over here, you can see you have just a bunch of people who have called, reached out to me, sent me information. This person here, it says, thank you for recording this short video. So you could put a face to my name. For some reason, that's a big thing. I got one from him and then one from another person. However, there's other better ways to do this. So secondly, or the next is your notifications. This is really important to understand. This is where it's going to show you some of your posts and what has done very well for your posts, right? So you're basically in a situation where you're like, okay, so I posted this, the panel featuring ConnectWise and Michelle Hollis. The nice thing I like to do is first look at how many likes. So we just did this today, this afternoon around 2 o'clock. We'll look at the post analytics. And from here, it's interesting, we already have 489 views in just a few hours. We probably will end up with close to about 1,600 views by the end of tomorrow evening. In here, it'll show you your Starbucks, 79 people titled salesperson. Kind of cool, right? 50 people viewed your post from Orange County. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So out of the 489. And then you can just go back to show less. So we'll go ahead and exit out of that. But this is a very, very important piece of your practice. This will really show you, right, who's really liking your stuff or not. Next, you're going to go to the Me section. And it's going to say, okay, he's a premium account holder, Sherman Crancer. I have a title here, helping Microsoft partners build profitable business practices. Okay, settings. Okay. Now, the waffle up here is really important because here is where you're kind of getting into the next piece, which we'll talk about is groups and Sales Navigator. So step 2, you have Elevate. You have learning, post a job, advertise, groups. Super important to understand this one. ProFinder, salary, and slide share. So this is, we'll go ahead and exit out of that. And then you have Sales Navigator. I'm not going to click on this just yet. However, if you're not signed up for it, you should sign up for it. And we're going to talk about Sales Navigator in another section. So with that being said, let's go ahead and finish off we'll go back to the home section. So you can either go home here or you can actually click on the inbox there. So let's go to the profile. This is really important. So we're going to talk about profile here. We are coming up on 4 minutes, so we've got 1 more minute left. You have Microsoft, right? So I put up here an actual background. This is really important stuff to know. Put a picture in there that is recognizable that you like. You know, the glamour shots, they're actually pretty good. I found that one with a really green background really stands out and I like it. So here you go, Sherman Crancer, okay, lion. And that's basically what that means. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Don't like telling this to too many people. LinkedIn Open Network. Now, it does not mean I'm a lion. I'm a special designation of LinkedIn. However, many people ask me that question. You have the next thing is really important here is the title. Many people say senior account executive, and that's the wrong thing to do. You want to tell what you do, and then what I do is helping Microsoft partners build profitable business practice. Bad grammar because you see everything here is in capitals, but it's meant to be that way, and that's a psychological trigger for marketing. Next, you have marketing. I went to Cal State Hayward after I went to University of Arkansas. There. And then you have your bio. So this is important. In my bio, it says Sherman Crancer, National Senior Partner Development Manager, et cetera. Really important is it puts in your what you do, how you do things, why, who you are. But what I do is I put in here videos. This is really, really important to put in there, videos, right? As you scroll down, now this is what people are going to see in the very beginning. Next, your dashboard. So this is kind of cool. 305 people viewed my profile before, 20 post views recently. 115 times I came up on searches. It shows that I'm an all-star here because I understand this. Now, strengthen your profile, and there's not much to strengthen here yet, but basically what this is going to do is now shows that your article. So I have 3,265 followers, manage your followers, okay? And this is just an article that I posted. So it kind of shows the most relevant ones, all activity. Next, what's really important is your experience. So now I'm going to put senior national PDM, so present 1 year, puts this in there. But inside of this, I put once again videos. Partner differentiation. These are the small ones that help build my brand. Next, Senior Business Channel Development Manager for Microsoft for 2 years and 5 months. And then I put some of the stuff that I did there. Once again, more videos. Next is President of IPbidders.com before I came to Microsoft. Next was National Account Manager. And then from there, you know, your actual experience. We have some skills and endorsements. We have 3 pending endorsements that I have to say okay for, but we can show more and show you all the different people who have given me skills and endorsements over the last few years. We do have recommendations here. This is really important too. Honors, organizations, languages, interests. This is basically your profile section. So I'm ranked as an all-star because I have a lot of video, of a lot of content that's in there. Any one of you can actually do that. All right, so that's the end of this section, which is basically understanding LinkedIn and understanding how to build a profile. In the next section that will come up after we talk about it, we're going to be getting into groups and why they are important. All right, hey, thanks for checking this out.
All right, welcome back. So hopefully we have a good understanding of how to build a great profile. Next, we have a thing on groups, and then after groups, we have a video on Sales Navigator. So please stay tuned for that. So let's get back into networking really quick. You know, I'm going to pass it over to Mark. So what are your thoughts on networking and the thought of the week?
So networking without question is integral to what we do in connecting top talent with our clients. And I've been a diehard networking person since I got started in this business, but it takes time to really learn, I guess what you would call maybe even just a networking etiquette, but also what are the best practices and where you're going to really get the best return for your time spending at these events, right? So when you're talking about that give first mentality, I do remember, just like you said, my first few events, I'd show up with a stack of business cards this thick and just walk around the room and hand them to everybody and just expect that all of a sudden the business would come flowing in.
Yeah.
And that's just not the case. The give first mentality, if you go in thinking, first of all, you're going to stand out from anyone else in the room, because the majority of the people in the room are still kind of doing that handout, what can you do for me?
Yeah.
But with the give first mentality, and when you meet somebody, remember their name, ask them what they do, and immediately start asking other questions where you might actually add value to them, and it's amazing what comes back in return.
Yeah, and what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I completely agree with everything that Mark was saying. I think millennials especially, we are so eager. We're like, here's our business. We want to help you. We want to do this. But people don't respond well to that. So going more along the lines of actually building the relationship, rather building your own brand, rather than just saying, hey, here's what I have for you. Like, give me all your business, because that doesn't work in the end. So rather than the instant gratification, go more along the lines of building the relationship.
Eric?
Yeah, well, first off, I'm gonna throw out a shameless plug here, but all of us sitting here at the table today are members of IMCP SoCal. So I've known Mark now for 8 going on 9 years. It is all about the networking, but something that Jackie just said is really important. A lot of folks show up to, and it doesn't matter whether it's IMCP or any other organization, they do exactly what Mark was describing. They show up to that meeting and they're there and they want to know, like, oh, I didn't get any leads today. Well, yeah, that's the way that's going to work. It takes about a year, especially depending upon how engaged you are with the group and the organization. But I'll tell you, it takes about a year to build up your reputation within the organization before you're realistically going to start to see business. And the reason for that is really simple. It's basic human nature. You want me to give you one of my clients or one of my prospects, right? That's what you're asking for. You're asking for a lead. Why would I give that to you if I barely know you? My clients are my lifeblood. So why am I going to give that to somebody who I don't know and I don't really trust? That's the simple thing that you have to think about. So you want to know what it's going to take to get that business. It's going to take building that relationship. It's going to be establishing a level of trust with those people. Because I can take that business, I can take that lead to a lot of other places. I could take it to Jackie, I could take it to Mark, I could take it to countless other people. So why should I give it to you? You're going to have to establish that value with me. And I hate to tell this because this is the reality, but a lot of people, they run around it at meetings and they just think, well, I showed up, so I've earned the business. Like, nope, that's not what it's going to take. Realistically, I can tell you, having been part of that organization and lots of other ones in the past, you're going to have to put in some blood and sweat to earn that business. You're going to have to get to know those people and establish those relationships. Once you do that, then absolutely. But if you're not engaged, then, if you show up to, one meeting every 3 to 6 months, it's going to take you that much longer to build those relationships and get those business opportunities.
No,
that's reality.
I love the passion that you have with that, because it's so spot on. I guess maybe we should break it down to what is the definition of networking. And I bet you, if we were to break it down, 90% of the people that are out there are missing the boat. I think networking, in my mind, and I'm going to ask you what you think the definition is. In my mind, networking is building friendships. That's what it's about, okay? And maybe it's not the friendship that, okay, it's like your lifelong friend, okay? But it's about building friendships and establishing yourself as somebody that's a trusted advisor to them, but not being this trusted advisor, to the client, right? But no, really, like that. So, Mark, what would you say your definition of networking is?
Yeah, I could take a stab at that. So I think that there's a progression when you're going out to these events and you're getting to know people. So the first step is you get to know somebody. You know their name, you understand a little bit about what they do. Then you establish the next step is, do I like this person? Is there a likability? Is there sort of a mutual vibe going on? And then the third is, and the ultimate, this is where the actual business and the referrals come, is where you get to trust somebody. So it's they get to know, get to like, get to trust. And like what Eric was talking about, though, that doesn't happen overnight. And I made this mistake early on in my career. I spread myself too thin. So I was going to 17 different meetings and associations and not going to any one of them consistently. So I never even got to the like part. I got to know some people out there in the networking circuit, but until you actually decide on maybe 2, maybe 3 groups that you really feel comfortable with, you really get to that like and to that trust level. It takes a little bit of time, but that's where the business comes in.
Jackie, what do you think? What is the definition?
Yeah,
in your mind?
definition of, I completely agree with Mark as well, but I think also with the like to know, it's also to remember as well. So I can go to start going to different events and find the events that you want to go to, but know that you have one person who you're going through. And you're going to remember, oh, the next time, how did that project go for you? Did it go well? Do you still need help with that? Or what is your next project? Where are you going from that? So actually remembering, because that will then build more trust. It will build that brand. It will build the relationship more to then have those referrals that come, or they will then come to you. So,
Well, and continue on this. I'll ask you, Jackie, friendships, building a friendship. What is your definition of building a friendship? I mean, do you start out friendships with, I'm going to ask for something?
no, never ask for something. I think building a friendship is starting with just getting to know somebody and getting to know kind of what their backstory is, what their life is like, and things along those lines, and say, hey, we have an instant connection on this, or hey, we have a mutual respect for this, or we have completely opposites, and let's talk, argue, do whatever about those opposite thoughts that we have. But that can also build relationships, build friendships, because opposites sometimes attract.
Opposites do attract, and sometimes. Let's do this. Let's go ahead, and we're going to transition into groups right now. We're going to have a couple other things that we're going to do real quick. But yeah, let's transition into groups.
Hi, this is Sherman Crancer, Senior Partner Development Manager for Microsoft. And today we're going to be learning about groups. So in our previous demonstration, we had actually talked about how to build a profile. Now we're going to go ahead and learn how to use groups to our advantage. So we'll go over here to the waffle. We'll go ahead and click that. And as we talked about earlier, we have these different tiles. Let's go ahead and click on groups. So groups are typically created by one person, and they are a group of like-minded individuals talking about like-minded issues. As a Microsoft Partner of Tomorrow marketer, one of the main things you really want to do is first of all join the right groups for you. So the groups that I have actually joined most recently is telecom professionals, cloud computing, information security network, cloud computing. Why? Because what I'm trying to do is market in those different groups and show real value by putting in a lot of different posts about Microsoft, becoming a Microsoft partner. And this is really where building your brand is actually designated. So with that being said, what you want to do is go to your groups page, and then you want to discover. So you'll click on the Discover side, and basically it allows you to see some of the ones that you think would be really good for you. We'll take a look at some of the interests that you are, and then you basically just put not interested, or you want to ask to join. So if we're going to ask to join, we'll go ahead and put ask to join. And what happens is they send a invitation to the group owner. Okay, so marketing and sales operation professionals. So let's say I want to go ahead and ask to join this one, and I'll go ahead and ask to join. So then you can load more or whatnot. You can put together like 10 or 15 groups. So after you have put together the groups, let's go ahead and click on My Groups. So in My Groups, there's two things that I manage. One, I manage the Microsoft Business Channel Development Network, and that's one pending member. And I also manage the OC Connectors group. Now, this was created by me a couple years ago. I haven't done anything with it. We do not have anybody in the OC Connectors group. But if you take a look at groups that I'm in, you're going to see that for the telecom professionals, there's 126 new conversations going on. That means it's a pretty active group. 101, the next one, information security, was 61, cloud computing. As it goes down and down, you'll kind of see the different types of communication. So what does that tell you? That tells you those are the groups that you actually want to start posting in. People are seeing what you're doing. if you're a managed service provider and say you want to get into like a legal group, this is where you would find it, and you would join that, and you would see California Bar Association, right? They may have a group of attorneys that talk about it. Well, you can start posting really interesting things that are going to help those attorneys maybe digitally transform. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead and manage the groups. I'm going to show you over here. I'll click on Microsoft Business Channel Development Network. It's the same thing as our YouTube channel. So we have 294 members going into FY19. We are going to ask that all managed partners come to this group, and this is going to be the way that we are actually going to be communicating, because we can do a lot of really cool things here. First of all, we can start a conversation with a group by just putting in a conversation. Number two, you can actually do post an announcement, which means basically you can email everybody that's included in the group here. So there's 294 members. We're going to send them an announcement. Make sure you come to the call tomorrow, and here is the link. That's basically what you do. So here's a group. We can start a conversation. We can post a conversation where it basically just goes in the feed, and depending on the network setting that the people who are members, they may get a notification or may not. So if you really want to make sure that everyone in your group does, you want to make sure you go over here to send an announcement. And basically what happens is you send a subject and you put your email, and what ends up doing is that they'll send an email to your client, or all the group members that are in there. So you send an announcement. But as you scroll down here, this is what's neat about it. So I posted this, right? Banu Gupta posted in here, TechStern Solutions awarded Microsoft certification in cloud platform. So they're kind of using it a way to advertise what you do. But then you have the Microsoft partners of Tomorrow Series Part 2, share with your network, click. These are a great way to kind of post this. Here's a Microsoft partner of Tomorrow's series. We have a thing from Kevin McMillan. Okay, Michelle S. goes ahead and post channel IQ lessons. So this is a group that I'm managing, and all partner development managers will have their own. And hopefully what we're going to be doing is communicating through here. So we'll put everything we need. But when you start marketing in groups, it's really important that you put an announcement, you put a subject that's going to solve a problem for that group. And then next that you want to do is make sure that whatever you're putting in here is relevant. It's quick, it's short, but it also helps somebody solve a problem. Okay, you don't have to sell through here. The worst thing you could do is sell through here and sell, different types of products. It'd be horrible if I was like sitting here putting in here Microsoft 365, is the best. Please order now. Right? That's just a terrible way of going about building your brand. So this is what I want to make sure that you post in, great content. So this is kind of the tour. Let's go ahead and click over here. There's group highlights. It's kind of a neat feature here. Basically, it'll take all the highlights, the most used conversations that are in all the groups, and basically you can just kind of read all the way through. So we saw the discover, and then we click here, it's back to LinkedIn. So that's the demonstration on groups. Join your groups, make your own group, okay, so you can work with them, and then use that to really help build your brand by posting great content. All right, thanks for checking this out, and we look forward to talking about LinkedIn Navigator on the next demonstration.
All right, welcome back. So that's groups. Groups, I think, are incredibly important as you are pushing out the content that you're creating, making sure that you have, the 12 or 13 groups that you want to be in. And remember, the way that I set up my groups is because I'm talking to IT folks, right? I'm talking to MSPs. So if the way you're talking as an MSP, you're looking to join groups that are in vertical industries. Very, very important, right? And then when you're in those groups, then you start posting to their group network, right? But you're posting stuff that is worthwhile for them to watch, something that's going to fix a problem or help them out, how to do OneNote in 5 minutes, or how to maximize Outlook, something that you're building your brand. That's how you slowly build your brand, and it takes a while. It isn't overnight. All right, so we were laughing during the break, and I want to just kind of pass it over. We're talking about stories here, and your first networking experience. We want you to share that. Please go on. We're going to answer a couple questions that you put in here, but please put in there a funny story if you have. Go ahead, but let's go ahead and bring the millennial back.
I'm
the
back.
single one. She's back. Jackie, help us with one of your very first networking experiences.
Yes, so my very first networking event was a Hot Mess Express. It was my first week into the job. First of all, didn't know technology, didn't still know what staffing was, and I went to a Help Desk Institute meeting, and that's definitely for infrastructure, so technology. So I was like, oh, okay. I would relatively know the people who are there. It was all staffing professionals and maybe 2 of our clients or something along those lines. And I said, how the heck am I supposed to stand out in this crowd? First of all, I'm only 5 feet tall, so I can't really stand out and above anybody. So I just kind of sat down, and everyone knew who everyone was, and I didn't build my brand, and I didn't get to know anybody my first event that I went to. So I think that was my mistake. But then continuing on from there, I kept on going to the events. I kept on making those relationships, making the LinkedIn connections. If I saw something, I would like it, comment it on their LinkedIn, and they would know my face, know my name, because then I would remember and then go back to the next event and say, hey, I really liked that article you posted. Do you have any more like that? Would love to sit down and discuss those with you. So even though the first event didn't go so well, I definitely built upon that and learned through that to definitely make them a little bit better.
Now, where was the location of your event?
Yes, so the first event was and it was my first event. So you think of Orange County and you're like, oh, Newport Beach, going to city of Aliso, and like everything is beautiful. And we were in Fountain Valley at the Orange County Sanitation District. And I walked out of my car and the smell just hit you because it's the poop palace of Orange County, is what I call it. But there are great people there. It just doesn't smell very nice. But everyone knows.
But they know. I mean, that's part of it. It's like going on I-5.
Yes.
Right?
Oh.
Right? You always,
To the
there's
Bay
that
Area.
one part that you're like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Why doesn't my fan that says internal air only actually work?
Yeah.
Right? Like, wait a minute. They've been lying to me since I bought this car because you can't get around it. Mark, do you have a story of maybe one of your first experiences networking?
Well, first of all, I think that I actually might have been at that meeting because I certainly do remember the sanitation district.
Oh, yes.
I also remember there being about 20 staffing professionals in the room and not a whole lot of people to talk to other than other recruiters. So I first networking event or group that I remember attending was actually the precursor to the IMCP. And it was just it was here at Microsoft, and it was called the Microsoft Open Door Days. I don't know if anyone has been around long enough to remember the Open Door Day meetings, but essentially it's the same sort of concept as the IMCP. So it is a room full of Microsoft partners coming from different angles within the Microsoft ecosystem and seeing how you can partner and help each other out. I guess if there's any long-term story to this is that, you know, as the Open Door Day meetings went away and the IMCP was born, and just staying through that, it's just been amazing just to see the entire, you know, the rise of the IMCP out of those ashes and all the friendships that came out of it.
Oh, Eric, why don't you share one of your stories?
Oh gosh, you know, I have been, you know, networking for so many years. So, you know, I've been involved in chambers of commerce and other industry associations, and I mean, Sherman, you and I have talked about this countless times. The chambers of commerce route, what a mess that can be. You know, it's very difficult to get business out of the chambers of commerce. You get a lot of one-person, you know, realtor organizations and insurance salespeople and all of that, and that's just, you know, a disaster waste of time. So, you know, I've done countless of those types of things, and you know, for me, IMCP, and I talk about this all the time, and I know you guys have heard me preach about IMCP for the last 6 months. But it is an amazing organization, and we have chapters all across the country, and it is specifically for Microsoft partners, and it's there to help you grow your business. So I will continue to give the shameless plugs for IMCP. For those of you in Chicago, we've got a fantastic chapter out there run by John Nicklau.
It's a commercial. I love it.
I got to do it.
I love it.
I got to do it. You know,
I love it.
It's a great organization.
So, you know, IAMCP.
Yeah, we just need some cups.
Need some cups there. So, you know, I'll tell you the other thing too, which I think really a exacerbates the point of giving first, whatnot. How about multi-level marketers, right? All these essential oil salespeople, Wino or Vino V or some Vada Vu or whatever, and they Facebook you. When did it become okay for somebody you haven't talked to in 20 years to send you a Facebook message saying, "Man, I really miss our conversations. Are you into essential oils? I'm building a team, and I'm so glad that you and I can partner together." Like, what? Okay, first of all, I got a real job. Okay, I do. I don't need another job that's not real. I'm sorry, but stop bothering me with that stuff. And I think that's what networking, you have to understand levels of networking too. I think that's important, where you're going, right? So I went to this one network after, whatever, we're not going to finish that one, right? And it was flush full of micro businesses.
Yeah.
That didn't have any business. I had no business being there. I was never going to make any, even if I was to make connections and lifelong friends, I was making a lifelong friend with the single man band, who's selling essential oils out of his house or a trailer. I don't know. Mark, what are your thoughts?
Well, anytime someone approaches you with that type of an intro and they call it partnering, I get very suspicious, because that's not my definition of partnering. Partnering is very much a two-way street where there's mutual benefit, and that was just straight up selling.
Yeah.
So, I think you just have to beware of your audience and know what the events are all about.
Yeah. So we did have some questions. I want to get to some of these questions that we had. One was about InMail. Have you ever been able to establish leads or relationships, I think, or get business from InMail? I would say that my response to that is, I think InMail, once again, remember, you got to give something. InMail, if you're sending an email with, "Hi, my name is Sherman, and I sell Microsoft 365, and I need you to call me about this great opportunity that's going to save you X." No, I don't think that's going to work. I don't know. Jackie, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, that definitely does not work, and especially in the staffing industry, we say, "Hey, we have this great candidate. They just came off their last project." You're again still selling them something, and that's not a valuable in-mail. A valuable in-mail is, "I want to build this relationship to you. You have this relationship with women in technology. I love how you partner with them. How can I be a resource for you?" Or how can I get more involved in that? So those relationships and those in-mails have worked a lot better than, "Hey, I have this for you. Buy it from me." So
That's brilliant. That's really profound. No, really, I like the way you're doing that. How about you, Mark and Eric? What are your thoughts?
I think Jackie hit on it. You've got to provide something in the way of value to them. You've got to give them something. So what can you provide? I think part of this also is, if you're just blasting in-mails out to people, if you're not researching those people and trying to understand what their challenges are, what are they putting out on LinkedIn? Or what types of content are they sharing? Commenting, the big value of groups is that it allows you to comment on something that somebody has posted out there. But you can also leverage from that and say, "Hey, I saw you posted, something. Maybe you already know this, maybe you don't, but here's something that I'm aware of, or here's something that I know that I can share with you above and beyond that." That's value to them, and that you're giving something at that point. That's radically different than just hitting them with a sales pitch. I totally agree. Just hitting them with a sales pitch is, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that on their social media. So that's what LinkedIn is. It's social.
Yep. Mark?
Well, I think that I agree with Eric. So a mass in-mail is the same as a mass email, in my opinion. So it's worth the time to spend to do a customized an in-mail to somebody with something that's going to be of value to them. Take your time to do it, because you're going to have so much more in return. We find that we get a lot more response on our in-mails on the recruiting end than on the business development end. Just sending a sales pitch to a company that might be hiring and might not be. It's looking and doing a research and finding candidates on the market who may be working and happy with where they are, but after doing some research, we may actually have an opportunity for them that could be a step up in their career, and you can explain why. So, tailored approach.
Yeah. So, compliments are essential to building friendships and relationships, I think. There's being able to understand and appreciate somebody and singling out something that they did. The reason why I'm bringing this up is sending an email or an in-mail with John, just wanted to quickly, and I'm using John as a just regular name, just John, I saw this article that you posted. Right? I think it's brilliant. Would love to talk to you a little bit more about what your thoughts are, on that. Jackie, what are your thoughts?
No, I think that's great. It's definitely, like you said, about the research and the articles that they post. Along with that, I know one time I had somebody say, hey, you actually know that I am an avid runner. This is what we can talk about. Although I am not an avid runner, my sister is. So we connected on that. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I know,
Okay.
fun stuff.
That's great. That's great. Hey, so before we come back, do we have any more? Do you have another question in there?
No, nothing more. But I think just one other thought around that. I know a partner who's been very successful with InMails with a very different approach, which is it's the asking about the person. So it's hey, send an InMail. First off, they ask for a connection request to that person. So then they reply, hey, thank you for accepting my connection request. I'd love to schedule an opportunity to talk to you about your business, understand a little bit more about what you do. People love to talk about themselves. And so that's opening doors for them. It's getting them follow-up conversations with people and scheduling one-on-ones to have a conversation about what they do. And they go into that with exactly that. They're not trying to sell them when they're on that call. They're literally having that conversation with them to understand what that person's business is. There may not be an opportunity for them to offer anything in the way of services to them right now. But it's about making that connection and then thinking about where you can go with it from there. But the first step is understanding what they do. And in order to do that, having a first conversation with them is a great way to establish that brand and that relationship.
That's great. So let's do this. We're going to transition into TNT, not into the LinkedIn, the Sales Navigators. I want to give them the 5 minutes, and then we're going to post the Sales Navigator after the show so you can watch that. It's 10 minutes, and we're running into some time issues here. Can you go ahead and do that?
Hey partners, TNT coming to you live from the Yomcom Center here in Moorhead. We're standing at a replica of a Scandinavian church. Going a little dry land here after last week's pool dive. We've got some great things we want to discuss today. What are we going to be talking about, Thomas?
Yep, so we're going to be talking about an MPN 101 webinar focused on knowing before you go to Microsoft Inspire, Cloud Profitability Playbook. We're going to be talking about an Azure Machine Learning webinar and the June hot sheets. So we'll be seeing you guys in 2. Hey partners, on Wednesday, July 11th at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, Microsoft's going to be holding a webinar specifically on Microsoft Inspire and knowing before you go. So it's going to be, the speaker's going to be Dina Grimstead, and she's going to be talking to partners about everything you need to know about prior to the event, how to sign up for meetings, connecting with Microsoft employees, and just about the schedule in general. If you have any questions about Inspire, feel free to reach out to Terry or myself, and we'd be happy to help out. The link is found below.
Hey partners, next topic is Cloud Adoption Profitability Playbook. I ran across this the other day and found it had great information as you guys look at FY19 and adding to the cloud mix for products. Within this playbook, it allows us to share opportunities and best practices for driving adoption of Microsoft Cloud services. The playbook also provides tools and resources for you to help drive increased profitability, say it's through IP services, managed services, and product service business models. So there's great content here within the playbook, best practices. It covers Office 365, Microsoft Azure, EMS, CRM Online, and Windows. So great information there. Why would you drive adoption and customer lifetime value? It's key. It's shown that it costs 7 times more to acquire a new customer than to retain an existing one. It's a 5% increase in customer retention. That can increase profits by 25%. And then lastly, customer profitability tends to increase over the life of a retained customer. So great stuff. So I think you guys should check it out. There is one thing that I did realize when I was looking at this is that cloud adoption is achieved when customers use the service on a regular basis. They realize the value of the service, and the service becomes critical to their daily lives and work, and they focus on driving this moving forward. So use the cloud to create a continuous revenue stream, increase customer satisfaction, retention, and loyalty, and then grow and extend your opportunities with your customers. Great information. Check it out. Thanks.
Hey partners, we have a webinar coming up in June on June 20th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern, and it is an Azure Machine Learning Bootcamp. So it's designed to introduce you, the partner, to machine learning and the data science workflow using the simple yet powerful drag and drop interface of Machine Learning Studio. The registration link is found below. If you have any further questions, please reach out to Terry or myself. The prerequisites can be found when you click the link. Thanks, and on to the next topic.
Okay, the last item on our agenda today is the June hot sheets. You know, as summer's heating up, so are the webinars and community calls that we've got going on right now. I encourage you guys to check it out for June. I know it's a busy month, but if you've got anybody that you've added onto your roster this year or coming up, I highly encourage you to check out the community call schedule that's going on right now. And then also we're hosting a lot of webcasts, courses, and calls through this schedule. So again, encourage you guys to check it out when you have a few minutes and get signed up.
All right, thanks so much. So what we're going to do now is actually just roll straight into Sales Navigator because we've pulled the crowd here. It's a 10-minute long thing, so we're going to land the plane literally at probably 10:01. So let's go ahead and transition into Sales Navigator.
Hi, this is Sherman Crancer, Senior Partner Development Manager, and now we're going to be getting into Sales Navigator. Sales Navigator could be a portion of LinkedIn that you can be confused about. However, I'm going to show you here some of the things to make it actually worth your while. I recently reconfigured my Sales Navigator because I didn't understand how to use it. When I show you these examples, you're going to understand why. Over here on the right, the score is 74%. It used to be as high as 82. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Sales Navigator, what is it? It is a way to go ahead and track the posts that are coming from two different types of sources. One is going to be the companies that you're tracking, okay, and number two are going to be the leads, which are the people inside of those companies. So if you're a managed service provider, you're a salesperson, you're a marketing person, you're thinking to yourself, okay, how do I actually use this to the best of my knowledge? So what you're doing is in Sales Navigator, you're going to be building lists. And you're going to be discovering things and discovering. So as you can see here, let's just take a look at it. Sales Navigator, you have search words by keywords or Boolean, right? And in here, you're going to see my profile. This is my social selling index, and we'll get into that in a second. But these are some of the companies that I manage. So you have Tangent Solutions, you see that? You have Quest Media and Supplies, you have Fusion Storm, and these are some of the updates. So what I like to do is as I'm following companies, there's two things that I like to do. I follow companies, and when I see that they did something, what I do is I'll go ahead and like it, or I'll put a comment on it. Because what I'm trying to do is help my partners, okay, build their brand by liking different things. Zag Technical Services, Joe Foose is on this. He's going to see this, but you've increased your head count by 10% in the last year. That's awesome. Here, Tangent shared some articles and updates. I'm going to go ahead and like both of those, or you can put a comment in there. But this is a way to help. But you know, in a managed service provider practice, and if you're or a salesperson or marketing person, what you're going to be doing is actually looking for accounts that you're trying to get into. So let's say it was QLand Corporation. You would then watch out for anything that's being posted by QLand and by specific people. These are the people that you're looking for, the people that you're going to be targeting in QLand. Okay, those are going to be your leads. And one of the best ways to actually kind of cold call in these days, right, is going to be around, actually, liking or commenting on posts from the people that you're actually trying to get to. So people like friends, so try to make friends that way. So you see here, Sales Alert, Tegrity Incorporated, they've had a negative 13% company headcount growth in the past year. Maybe if they return some of the phone calls we called, it'd be different. Fusion Store's got some more updates. We're going to go ahead and like these. Okay, so now that you see this, you kind of see a little bit about what I'm viewing. So once again, your clients are going to be the customers you're looking after. So let's go ahead and look at lists. You have My Network, Save Leads, and Saved Accounts. So we'll go ahead and click on the list function here. We'll go to My Network. Okay, so in My Network, over the 3,200 people I have in here, it actually basically you can search by location in United States, California, Orange County, relationships, first connections, and you can actually save any one of the people that are currently inside of your connections as leads. So those would be individuals, but we don't want to go there. So we're going to go over to Discover and we're going to go recommended accounts, and the accounts are going to be the company that you're targeting. Okay, so I'm doing it a little bit differently. I'm looking at it as a way to help build the brand of the partners that I manage. However, you're going to be looking at this thinking, okay, let's see, what are some of the companies that I want to go ahead and watch? So let's go ahead and up here, we're going to do keywords. We're going to do bond consulting. Okay, consulting. Perfect. Great. So the nice thing about this is Bond Consulting Group. We know Bob Bond. We know David Gersten very well. He's going to live in infamy. But what we do now is we're going to save them as an account. Go ahead and save. And they're added as now an account. So anytime I go back to my Sales Navigator, if Bond puts up any new information, it's going to go right over here and I will see some of the people that I am managing. So let's go ahead and put Diverge IT. Oh, perfect. This is a great one. Okay, so now we have Diverge IT. Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and save them, right? But now we save them as an account. Okay, so we're going to now figure out what are the leads, who are the people that I want to follow in here. So I'm going to save Robert Prowl as a lead. I'm going to save Brian Pastry as a lead. Okay, as a lead. Byron, let's see, Jared Koch, we already have. Phil Thacker, Randy Fredericks, we already do. Team Link, Robert Prowl, great. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to save this one, save. And the reason why I'm doing this is basically I want to be able to see anything that any one of these people are going to be posting. Okay, so when they do post it, I can go ahead and basically comment on it and say, hey, great job. This is a good, this is a good post. Now, these are the people that are Divergent. Now, the next thing that you're going to have here is news and updates from Divergent. Well, as we can see, we don't have very many news and updates, and that is something that we need to fix very, very quickly. There's 27 employees on LinkedIn. We're going to go ahead and save Jared as a lead. Okay, Phil Thacker, we want to get him as a lead. Glenna Lopez, I like Glenna, she's awesome. Save as a lead. Okay, John Saramenta, and we'll keep going down here for Robert Almondi, Louis Laura. Save as a lead, save as a lead, save. Let's see, match this member to an account. Oh, looks like somebody no longer works there. So let's look down here. Who else do we want to? Lisa Jones. Okay, save as a lead. Perfect. All right. So now that we have them as our leads, perfect. We are going to be able to see anything that any one of them is actually posting. And when they do post, and oh, here they go, Bond Consulting Services. So we just follow them, perfect, share. Okay, so this, if we do it this way, this is how you're going to build your social selling index. You want a social selling index anywhere between 70 and about 91. So let's go ahead and click this to show you how you build this social selling index. So as you can see here, it basically says establish your personal brand. So we're doing really well with that, right? 22 out of 25. Next is finding the right people. So I had an 80, 82, but these two scores went down very quickly. And that was with finding the right people because I reduced all of my um, people that I had in here. I took them all out. So I deleted everything so I could start over with just my partners. Then they engage with insights. Now these are the things that you take, one of your leads that you had, and you comment on, their post. Okay, or you actually start posting yourself. So you're going to engage with your insights, and then building relationships. We're 25 out of 25. We should absolutely be doing it. As you can see, we had a big drop here from 81.91 down to 73, and that is really because of finding the right people. Interestingly enough, people on my team, I'm ranked 54 out of 100. Okay, that's only because I've gone down to 74, but at 82, I was like in the top 2%. People in your industry, I'm number 29 out of 100, and people in your network, number 49 out of 100. So I'm down 4% since last week, 1%. I'm down 1,126 spots since last week. And that's because I did not have the right people. So after we just did this actual demo here, now it's going to go up considerably. I'm top 2% my SSI rank and top 8% in network SSI rank. So this is really, the part of Sales Navigator that's really going to be beneficial for you. It's basically taking, here, look, Byron S., he shared some updates to Divergent. So here I'm going to go ahead and like it, and I'm going to like it. I'm going to actually put a comment in here. I'm going to say, great article. Now, Byron is going to understand who I am. And he's going to be seeing this. He's like, wow, he just mentioned great article on my stuff. So it'd be very easy next time I talk to him, say, hey, yeah, I saw your article, I thought it was fantastic, and I liked it. And I put something there. All right. Hey, thanks for checking this out and learning about Sales Navigator. Have a great day. Bye-bye. For sticking in there with that 10-minute explanation of Sales Navigator. Remember, the way I do it is for Microsoft partners. The way you should be doing it is setting up accounts for the companies you're prospecting and the leads of the people you're talking to. All right, so we're going to end the show today. Thanks so much. I think this has been really fantastic. Thanks for coming. I just want to provide some last thoughts. Mark, just some last thoughts, or maybe how to contact you. That would be good as well. You want to put their contact information in the lower third? All right, great. Mark?
Well, I think it's been great. Thank you, Sherman. Thank you, Eric, Jackie. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. In terms of networking and best practices, I think it's been a great discussion. Remember, just the give first mentality, and just find a couple of events or groups that you really like and just attend regularly.
Fantastic. Jackie?
Yes, no, thank you so much for having me and entrusting the millennial and what my thoughts and ideas were. And great, like how I view networking and how we all kind of view networking, like similar but different at the same time. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Eric?
As you know, with everybody else, thanks everybody. If you have questions, as I said before, sales and marketing would love to have those conversations with you. If I can help any of the partners that are out there, would love to go through that sales and marketing process audit with you. And there's no cost for doing it. Would just be happy to go through it with you. And there's a little document that I put together afterwards that I'd be happy to share as well. So thanks everybody.
Great. Thanks for the panelists, and thank you very much for coming. We'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey there, my name is Sherman Crancer, and I'm the Senior Partner Channel Development Manager here at Microsoft and the host of The Panel. strategies from the titans of sales and industry. If you're interested in understanding how you can build large margins through packages, if you're interested in how to create differentiation within the marketplace, or simply you want to understand the latest cutting edge sales and marketing techniques, make sure you join us each week on Fridays from 9 to 10 a.m. Thanks so much and have a great day. Bye-bye.